Okay, readers, it's break time for our animals, and they'll be back in 10 minutes. But now, let's listen to the books you're reading this morning. So Robin says, good morning. He has his two dogs, Harris and Kind, and he's going to be reading Only One Wolf by James Herriot, and he's happy to see all the dogs. Marin and her bearded dragon, Davy Jones, are reading Rosie Revere, Engineer. And Maya says, good morning. She's going to read Elephant and the Piggy series, Happy Pig Day by Mo Willems, and that's one of her favorite books. And don't forget to go and register at santacruzpl.org. And each week you register, we'll send a printable dog bone that you can decorate and send in, and also a fun activity just for participating. And then please send in your pictures. Each week, I'll show pictures live on our program. These can be photos, drawings of your own pets, the book you read, your dog bone, or your activity. Just email it to us. Tales to Tales, so TALES, to TAILS at santacruzpl.org. And here is one of our submissions. Maya, I see you and the dog are both plugging your nose, which is certainly understandable because some smells are nice and others are not. You drew in a rainbow, a couple of hearts, and 2 books on your doggy bone. And I see you up there with Woody and Yoli, and I still love those little zigzags that you make for the fur. And then you also included your activity where the dog is making the red line all the way up to the bowl with a dog bone. And then the banana, I see you've colored in with associated yellow, and then the fish has been colored in with blue. And Robin and his family went to a friend's farm, and while they were there, they found 2 stray dogs. The dogs' names are Harris and Kind. And we know the dogs are in good hands until they can be reunited with their owners. And Robin really wanted everyone to see the picture of these adorable pups. This week, I thought we'd look at insides. That's right, insides of other living creatures, specifically some very cool x-rays I found posted on the ZSL London and Oregon Zoo websites. We can tell so much about an animal's health from looking at an x-ray, from the strength of their bones to how healthy their heart is, says ZSL London Zoo veterinary nurse Heather McIntosh. So let's take a look at some of these x-rays together. Here's the first x-ray I found from the London Zoo. It's of Marion, their large, hairy armadillo. As soon as I saw it, I realized I knew almost nothing about armadillos, so I went and learned a bit. The first thing I found is armadillos like the nightlife. They are mostly nocturnal. They stay inside their burrows when it's hot and come out at dawn, dusk, or at night to look for food. Now this picture shows this armadillo and there are little hairs going down. It almost looks like a vacuum cleaner of some sort. You know how sometimes attachments on vacuum cleaners have the little bristles? That's what I sort of think, and I think the legs are so cute. And then number 2, armadillos look hilarious. Now, armadillos look like a mixture of a huge roly-poly, a pig, and a medieval knight with a bit of giant insect mixed in. But they're actually mammals, closely related to anteaters and sloths. Armadillos turn into balls. Now, armadillos aren't usually fighters. When threatened, the 3-banded armadillo protects itself by rolling into a ball. And the result looks so much like a soccer ball that the mascot of the World Cup in Brazil one year was the 3-banded armadillo named Fuleco. Number 4, armadillos stick out their tongues to eat. Armadillos use their long, sticky tongues to feel around in ant nests, slurping up lots of ants at a time. A 9-banded armadillo can eat thousands of ants in one meal. Now, ants might not be your favorite food, but don't make fun of an armadillo snack. It might stick out that extra long tongue at you. And that's a picture of this armadillo with its very long pink tongue out, eating some ants. I kind of wish the armadillo could come to my house and eat my ants. Number 5, armadillos are likely to get into traffic jams. Now, if you frighten an armadillo, it might run away to hide in the nearest burrow, but sometimes when one armadillo is trying to get into the burrow, another armadillo, or 2, is trying to get out, and they get stuck. Now this next X-ray is Nazi, the big-headed turtle. Do you see how long the tailbone is? The big-headed turtle is appropriately named. Its head is so large that it cannot be withdrawn into its shell. The yellowish or olive brown head that we can see in that picture down below, it's triangular and it's flattened and has powerful jaws and a hooked beak. Now this turtle rarely swims. Instead, it relies on its powerful legs, strong claws, and a long and agile tail to move over its rocky stream habitat. Now here is a tokay gecko. The X-ray is pretty cool, and the picture that I found is kind of a blue and copper-colored gecko, and I think it looks like it's smiling. According to the Smithsonian's website, they can hold on to a vertical surface with as little as one toe at a time. And if attacked, this gecko can cast off its tail in defense, breaking it off at several sections. And then the cast-off portion of the tail continues to move violently around for several minutes, giving the gecko time to escape. Not to worry, though, the gecko's tail regenerates in approximately 3 weeks. And since we have a bearded dragon joining us, perhaps the bearded dragon would like to see a picture of this X-ray. And then this is an X-ray of Cornelius, and I think we have a reader who has a dog named Cornelius. Now this Cornelius is a corn snake, and here's his X-ray from the London ZSL Zoo. I've never seen an X-ray of a snake before, so I thought I would share that with you. Humans have 33 vertebrae, while snakes have between 200 and 400, which is how they are so incredibly agile. Some people keep corn snakes as pets. Do you know anyone with a snake for a pet? And here we have a picture of a young kid with a snake that is cream and kind of an orangey red striped color. And we can see the snake's very cute little face and their black eyes. Up next is an X-ray of a western pond turtle. And then we have a Rodriguez flying fox, and this is from the Oregon Zoo. We have a Toko toucan. I thought this was cool. You could see the really long beak of the toucan, also from the Oregon Zoo. And then we have our chameleon, which is our last X-ray. Now, something cool about chameleons. Chameleons change color to attract mates. They regulate their body temperature, or they tell intruders to stay away. Now, this chameleon in this picture is enormous and full of colors, and the tail is all curled up underneath it. Chameleons have eyes that can look in 2 different directions at once. So this photo is showing this chameleon maybe looking at us, maybe not looking at us. And he is green and brown striped, and then his legs are kind of pink in color. Chameleons' tongues are lightning fast. They move at 13 miles an hour. So this picture shows a chameleon on top of a stick. It's kind of like a very light green yellow, and his tongue is sticking way out and grabbing an insect of some sort off of a leaf. And chameleons can display a wide range of colors, including red, green, blue, white, purple, and more. And this picture is a chameleon on a stick. He's mostly, I would say, orange and green and teal with a stripe of white in him. And then the largest chameleon is the Parsons Chameleon, which can grow as long as 27 inches. I showed this chameleon to my daughter, and she thought he seemed really big. And he is enormous. He's on a stick or a tree, and he's mostly green and brown, and he has yellow eyes. And then the smallest known chameleon is called a Bruchessia micra, and it can fit on your thumbnail. And the one shown in this picture is sitting, in fact, on someone's thumbnail, and it's brown with little gold specks and the tiniest feet. And then chameleons live mostly in Africa and parts of Europe. You can see that on the yellow parts that are shown on the map.